All right. Well, hello and welcome to you all. Welcome to the um, April meeting of the Creative Computing Club. It's so happy to have you here. We are going to talk today about artificial intelligence, and specifically, we'll take a look at what artificial intelligence is, and then how is artificial intelligence helping us in this COVID-19 pandemic. And so we have a poll question here at the bottom. It says, "What's your definition of AI?" or "What are some examples?" I got a couple people that have given us definitions or examples. So one of them says that AI is a learning program. It's a program that takes information from earlier experiences and then evolves like Ultron. Somebody gave the examples of Siri or Alexa or Cortana or Google Assistant. We've got a definition of AI that's a program that can make a decision for itself without human interference. But then they also say they're not going to lie. They don't know much about AI, which is fun that you don't, or fine that you don't know much about AI. So hopefully, at the end of today's class, you'll know a little bit more about AI than you did when you got here. So let's see what else we have. We have a program that's learned from its mistakes and learned from other beings. Machines that have a brain-like ability to think or solve programs. Programs that don't need humans to get better. Skynet, I have a joke too. I love it, love it. A learning program, one that takes information from earlier experience and then evolves, like Ultron, in a way that allows machines or computers to perform human functions and think like humans. Well, these are some great definitions that you guys have put out here. Watson, yeah, Watson is definitely a smart computer. I think the only computer who's ever beaten a human at chess, and granted, it took Watson a long time, a couple of tries, to actually beat a human at chess, but eventually did it. So wonderful, wonderful. Well, today we do have a guest speaker. Ameya is going to be speaking with us about artificial intelligence, and so at this time I'm going to go ahead and turn the meeting over to Ameya. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for presenting.
Hello, hello. Can you guys all hear me? All right, awesome, awesome. So, huge thank you, Mr. Lower, for letting me present. So let's talk about artificial intelligence and its use in the COVID-19 pandemic. I hope that you guys and your families are all safe. I've been washing your hands and doing social distancing. I know it's a bit of a stressful time, a bit of interesting, weird times we're hearing today. But yeah, let's go ahead and explore how artificial intelligence is being used. And first off, before we go to that portion, let's explain what artificial intelligence is. Now, right now we're seeing all the responses from all of you guys, and you guys definitely have a decent understanding of AI already. So artificial intelligence refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines. Now, the goals of artificial intelligence include learning, reasoning, and perception. Now, as you guys already seem to know, AI is not just the Hollywood-esque view of all-knowing humanoid robots. So it's not solely just like Siri or Google Assistant. It can be much more than that, and they can have more, I'd say, specialized tasks. So, and another thing is that, like, some of you guys might have also realized that AI does not need human intervention. Now, modern AI systems need to be fed data in order to make inferences and involve its algorithm to perform its tasks with accuracy and efficiency. So, most AI needs data in order to in order to learn and to actually operate. So, in the right, we have a really handy diagram to explain the difference between artificial intelligence, which is an all-encompassing sort of blanket term that about all these sorts of stuff like that. And machine learning is a very important subset of AI, which uses statistical methods, so mostly data, to enable machines to improve with all the experiences. So similar to how Ultron was able to, progress, he kept learning, and learning. So that's where machine learning comes in. And then deep learning is like a subset of machine learning, which makes the computation of multi-layered neural networks feasible. So this is where it really tries to mimic the human intelligence, where it uses neurons and all that stuff. So it really definitely tries to mimic there, but that's a really deep subset of that. So let's go ahead and explore this video on artificial intelligence. You guys can click on the image of the video. It'll take you right there. A bunch of visuals in the video. So let's continue, I guess. I'm I'm assuming all of you guys are all done with the video, so we can definitely continue to the next slide. So a little more on AI. So we'll run through like a few more definitions or subsets of AI, and then we'll go on and explore its uses when it comes to the COVID pandemic. So supervised learning are where systems that are characterized with tasks considered to be human-like. So a lot of supervised learning, that's how the systems actually start knowing their stuff, through supervised learning. Now, a neural network is a type of machine learning which models itself after the human brain, creating a network via algorithms, and it tries to model itself after like the nervous system. So like, axons, dendrites. It tries to more or less mimic that. Now, natural language processing allows computers to break down and process human language. So think about like Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant. They all use NLP to decode what you're trying to say, because to them it all seems like Latin. So that's where natural language processing comes in, and it can definitely do a lot of things like Google Translate, all this stuff. They all use natural language processing. Now, computer vision is where the algorithm can like use pattern recognition and deep learning to recognize what's in a picture or video. So, say for example, if you see like YouTube's flagging system for content, they all use computer vision. So they'll like try to scan through the video. If they think they see something that's inappropriate, they'll flag it as age restricted. So that's how like there's like billions of hours of content on YouTube uploaded daily, and the way they're able to process all that is through AI algorithms. Now let's explore how AI is being used in the pandemic. Now there are many applications. So here are a few key applications when it comes to the pandemic. So we can screen those who might be affected by having patients check their symptoms, and the system giving feedback and precautionary measures, and etc. So the CDC, Apple, they've created an app recently on the iPhone for this sort of thing, where they give a few questions and they ask, are you feeling this symptom or not? And based on how you answer those questions, it'll try to give you some sort of recommendation on, okay, should exercise this social distancing, you might be clear but still exercise. It gives a general set of ideas of what you should probably think of doing. Now, it can also, like in hospitals, it can definitely identify high-risk patients, so doctors can reach out proactively. So this is another important thing that AI algorithms can do. Now, AI can also screen frontline healthcare workers, which is very important because they have been doing so much work, and obviously it's quite hard for them to even get tested themselves. So having a simple screening process using AI can really help streamline the process and ensure that the healthcare workers who are infected can immediately get treated and they won't have their symptoms worsen. Because many doctors, healthcare workers, they've been dying from this stuff, and it's pretty harrowing to see. And we can also detect COVID-19 and differentiate from other respiratory illnesses such as SARS or many other illnesses like influenza. So we can make sure that we're actually treating coronavirus and not some other disease, not some other virus. And then we can also predict which patients' conditions could deteriorate from this. That's another really important thing to make sure that we can also make sure that, yeah, exactly, as Mr. Laura said, that not all infections are going to be coronavirus, but it's a really important imperative we make sure that we're not just like jumping the gun and thinking that we're treating for coronavirus and then inadvertently doing something that we shouldn't be doing for a different illness. So we can also predict which patients' conditions will deteriorate faster, so we can easily give them more treatment, or alter the methodology in trying to treat them. And another thing we can also do is track the amount of hospital beds and supplies. Now, we've definitely been seeing worldwide a massive shortage when it comes to, especially in so many, and also just hospital beds. Like China, they had to build like a hospital in 7 days just in Wuhan, just to like they can actually like treat at least as many of their patients as possible, and it still was not enough. So we can definitely use AI to track how many beds we have, and then we can also see how we can organize other arrangements without having to go with some Jimmy Neutron makeshift sort of setup. And also, we can even easily track patients that are outside the hospital and collect data. So, obviously, we can also make sure, okay, what happens after they've been treated with coronavirus? Is there any other future complications? And we can easily track that when it comes to with the stuff. So we can easily do the tracking as well. Yeah, exactly. As Kane said, obviously, the things that with the AI algorithm, what it'll do is that it'll make sure that as much data as they get, they can also make sure that it won't be like just, okay, if you cough, then you have coronavirus. The AI algorithm will be fine-tuned as much as possible to ensure that that won't be a problem for most people. So the thing with AI is that you can easily minimize false positives the more data you get and the more corrections you make to the data. That's why AI and machine learning is such a powerful tool we can use in the pandemic, because we can easily make sure that the data we're giving it is both accurate, and also we can easily change the data to make sure that our algorithm is able to understand. Alright, yeah, thank you, Cohen, for being in the meeting. Thank you. So that's where I feel that, especially in this time like this, artificial intelligence machine learning can really come in the clutch and actually do many changes to help make sure that we can fight this pandemic, and that people are safe, and that those who have been infected can easily be treated. So that's definitely that's the applications for this one. Here are my sources. You guys can also read more from that one. Also, you can check out the crash course videos. Those are also really useful when it comes to learning this stuff. So that's been all I have. Thank you for your time. You guys have any questions? Oh, for the one by I'm assuming you're talking about the one like the CDC. Let me pull it up. I'm trying to look for that one because I had installed at some point. Let me get it for you. Purchased. So it'll be Apple COVID-19. So that's the name of the app on the App Store. It's like Apple space COVID-19. Let me just type in the title. Yeah, I'm LSS. Yeah, it's a free app. It's a free app. So that's the name of the app. It's a free one. It's made by both Apple and the CC. It's a bit of a more of a rudimentary screening app, but it definitely also uses some forms of AI and machine learning to make sure that it gives you the right recommendations. Okay, so to answer Train's question, so we could really expect within the next decade or two, when it comes to how AI can reach the level of human intelligence, because at this point right now, most neural networks, the most advanced of neural networks are around the mental capacity of a toddler, because like the human brain and how it works is quite a complicated thing. So it'll definitely take some time before we reach the level of of more like adult human intelligence. At this point, we're currently still at it like the intelligence level of an infant or toddler. So it'll definitely take some time. So maybe a few decades, I'd imagine, to reach the level of human intelligence. But again, that definitely does not mean that we can, or the skills of people that are working on making AI. So generally, the skills of people working on AI are like those who are like college graduates generally. So so that's usually most people, like mostly college graduates, and they've done now many universities are offering degrees in AI, and it's specifically about how we can use neural networks in programming that stuff. So generally, it's going to be programming. That's the main thing that's going to really help with AI and automation. Yeah, exactly. We're providing data degrees, so especially so there are multiple, like artificial intelligence is like one subset, and then another one's like data confirmation and data manufacturing. So that's another thing that's definitely going to be skills required when it comes to making AI algorithms and making AI projects. Yeah. These are some really good questions, by the way. Oh, see you, Channing. That's really cool. That's
All
really
right.
cool to hear, Adam. I'm
Well, it looks
also
like the
really,
flow of things
I'm
has
really
has
passionate about
certainly
like AI
slowed
and machine
down.
learning, and that
And
stuff is kind
if
of
you
like computer
do
science.
have
It's all
additional
been
questions,
really something
be sure
I've
to
liked to
type them in
do
the
and learn
chat
about. So I'm definitely
or
planning on going
whatnot.
back to
Want
university.
to give a huge shout out and thank you to Ameya for coming and presenting
Oh,
on
that's a good
artificial
one, Hero.
intelligence.
That's a really good one.
It's such a big topic. We might even talk about it next month
Oh
as
yeah,
well, um, uh, depending on what else comes up. Maybe one of you will reach out and say, "Hey, I've got an idea for a presentation that I want to do before the year's out," and we can certainly try to squeeze that in instead. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time and putting the slides together and presenting. At this time, I am going to go ahead and stop the recording.